get her up. Yes, here she is.
There she
Hooray!
is.
It worked. Brilliant. I'll get out of
Hello.
the way. And yeah.
And you just, we'll see him later. Hello, Sabina.
Hi.
I'm Alan. Finally, we've got all our little technical difficulties out the way. We're online. Are you a shiatsu therapist?
Well, basically not, although I did 4 years education 10 years ago, but I never finished it.
Really? 4 years and still not finished? Can I ask a personal question?
Mhm.
Where do you come from? You have an accent.
I'm from Croatia,
Oh, wonderful.
and I live in the
Well,
Netherlands now.
you're here in the
Yeah,
Netherlands. Oh, okay. Then you're down the road to me.
yeah.
I mean, we do have a lot of students that come from places like Croatia, Serbia, Litauen, and a whole bunch of places,
Yeah.
and Russia, and everywhere. That's because all you guys who don't actually come from here have taken the trouble to learn English instead of the English learning to take the trouble to learn your language. But I guess that's because it became kind of universal. Um, I'm going to be, you know roughly what I do you? I don't know if you saw what just happened.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Okay. Oh, well, that's good because that saves a lot of time with me telling stories and intros. First one, you have to do that. Um, I'm going to ask you a question. What can I do for you?
Well, on body level, I have a sore shoulder. I have, in a way, damaged it
A left one.
left. It's a swimming injury. And that's it. And on maybe emotional, mental, I don't know, my hormones are a bit, I have a big oscillations in my emotional states.
Well, if you saw what I just did with Martina, I did point out and showed how to put the tongue in that position. And eventually, don't try and do it all in one go. We all did it when we were kind of inside mummy, but we kind of forgot. But I started again at 24 because the teacher showed me how to do that. So I've been doing it for 50 years. But from experience, I would say start with the first one, push it back, take the time. Even if it takes a year before you can get it all the way back, you have to remember you're not a little baby anymore. You've had a lot of years not putting it back. But if it was in there, which it was, then of course you can get it back again. It just takes some time. But when you do, it's about just breathing and focusing on it, and you'll change the saliva in your mouth. You'll probably did all that already. I don't know how many people watched what I was doing. The point being that all of that has to do with the balancing of your hormones. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, but I'm going to some very down to earth questions as well. Um, do you take the pill or anything else? So you don't take anything that would interfere with the hormone system, right?
No, and I mean, basically, I don't know, I don't have any medical proof that there is something wrong with me. I just notice it in my, yeah, observations. It's not that I have
Good.
a medical condition.
No, and I wasn't suggesting it was.
Mm, sorry.
I don't. Most of these things, I try to avoid giving things a medical name because it's one where I'm coming from. It's just one body, one person in a very big environment. But from our point of view, in our daily lives, it can be a small environment with all the stuff that goes with it. But um, as one practices more, not that you should do more shiatsu, but you should do more of the do in anyway, um, to give yourself, how can I put it, that a little, if I say inner peace, I don't really mean inner peace. I don't really mean satisfaction. I mean that you reawaken the awareness, and I really do mean awareness, not intellectual, that you are bodily aware that you are living and it's not you that's doing it. That's the most important part. Um, Key and working with it, that kind of thing, is the way to get there. And a lot of people are, I don't know what they're looking for, but I just followed what my teacher said and I did it, and their experiences. And those experiences are very subjective and personal until you meet other people who have had the same experiences, and they could be from anywhere in the world and they were doing something, and then there's recognition. And I could understand that most people have been brought up to be social, and the idea of being separated from things isn't good. That's quite true. But if you are separated from things, you're not separated from life.
Yeah.
So all night you breathe. We know it's automatic. All day you decide how you're going to feel, right? At night you dream. Do you dream a lot?
Yeah, and I actually
I,
dreamt of you recently, and that's why I applied, and I never met you.
you're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
But how do you mean me? How did you know it was me?
Well, I was checking out Shiatsu,
Yes.
so I was actually contemplating if I would like to continue the education, but maybe
Oh.
not now is not a good time, and now I'm just by chance doing some, let's say, dream workshop, and then
Hmm.
I had a dream that I came to. Is it dojo the name? And I mean the
Dojo?
to the center.
Oh, a dojo is just the Japanese word for a place of learning.
Okay,
Okay.
and there was you demonstrating, and you asked someone if someone wants to treat a person, and I
Yes.
remember that there was like wool threads where the meridians go,
Yes.
and
I know that as well. We can do that, but I can track them all. Anyway, if you did 4 years of study, you must have learned something, right? I
I
don't
did.
know.
I did.
Yes, that's amazing. And when did you have this dream?
Well, 2 nights ago, but
My God.
shall I finish it? So I volunteered to demonstrate, and I touched
Yes.
the person, and I could feel so clearly the energy. And I was
Oh.
treating someone small intestine, and I think that's actually maybe my problem. And
Uh-huh.
someone told me that you're Croatian. No, or I actually asked, "What is your name?" And the person said Svetac, and that means in Croatian a saint. And we both started to laugh, and that's what.
I'm I'm glad you both started to laugh. But I'll tell you a secret. I was born in England, but by blood I'm half Russian, half Polish.
Okay, so you're Slavic.
I am a Slav, yeah. Not a Slav, a Slav.
That's love.
But but I grew up and my father wanted me to be English. Everything was about fitting in,
Yeah.
and that worked. But there came a point where I rebelled, and with that rebellion, I started doing what now I've done for the rest of my life and continue to do. So there are a lot of Slavic people who come here, and the Dutch people and French people and so on
Yeah.
to learn. And this is behind me, the big dojo where we do it, and we still do it live. We do it online, but we do it live as well, which we just started, and you're very welcome to join in somewhere. I think I could, if you want. If you Do you live far from The Hague?
I live in Nijmegen.
Well, not bad. We got one that comes from Groningen. So, and he beds with his buddy in Amsterdam and then comes here. But people come from all over the place. But let's have a look at that shoulder of yours, shall we? That's that one there. I'm pointing on my screen. Yes, your left one. And that was a ski accident, you said?
Swimming. I mean,
Swimming, sorry.
it's not an
Um,
accident. It's just a bit
no.
stretched.
A bit. We do that. For how long?
2 weeks.
Only 2 weeks. Oh, wow. I'm getting away with murder here. I usually go for the really deep stuff. So Well, this is, I'm focusing on it now. It doesn't take too much trouble. Let's just take a look. Oh my goodness. Um, that's, yeah, it's at the front and it's on the muscle. You can open your eyes if you like. It's on here and here, and it comes up at the back a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Okay.
comes in the neck.
Yes. In fact, around about there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's not well. This you can get your if you do this. Can you see it? Maybe if I turn around, it's easier. If you can take those muscles under here and just pinch them
Yeah.
slowly, like you would if you were doing shiatsu,
Yeah.
and work from up here uh, to down there, and of course do it with the other. I'm doing it with this one, but you're going to do it with the other hand. So you have to do it with the
Yeah.
other hand. And this is my left, so actually I should be doing this one, and it goes down there. And this one here, you can dig into it. That's called gallbladder 21.
Yeah.
Um, but that's not going to help you so much. So that's going to be even more interesting. Is if you wouldn't mind, you take your left foot, and I'll do mine, and get it up here somewhere. Uh, let's see if we can find that for you. Not too difficult. And down here, can you see him? I'm trying to stick my foot in the camera and getting cramp at the same time. Um, here's the little toe,
Yeah.
and then just come on the inside, and you have gallbladder meridian.
Okay.
You remember that? And then you just come up a bit until in between the big toe, a little toe, and the fourth toe, you just come up to where you can't go any further in the groove
Yeah.
between the two toes.
Yeah.
And that's number 41. When you push in there, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Good. You need to do that a lot
Okay.
to help on the same side. You can do both actually. And not only that's a very interesting thing because you mentioned your um, oscillation of hormones. Uh, this particular point also opens one of the 8 curious meridians. You heard about them?
8?
Curious meridians.
No.
I've never heard of them? Okay. Well, they get taught here as well. The 8 curious meridians are, you got to look it up because there's no time in 1 hour for me to explain the whole 8, but they're there. 2 of them are actually the governor vessel and the conception. So a lot of people talk about the 6. You know how they are, Chinese and Japanese. Anyway, 8 curious meridians. And the guy that teaches that is Japanese, and he's coming here in March next year to start a new round of what he does, which is all of that. And he was my teacher as well, one of them, and he's been working with me for the last 22 years. So that means I got to study because I was filming it all as well. Anyway, that point is not only good for the shoulder, that also opens this pathway which goes through there and into the brain and actually affects um, the balance of your hormone system.
Okay.
It's, and when you look it up, you're probably going to Google it. It'll either be called the penetrating vessel or the through-going vessel, depends how they wanted to translate it. And you'll find it in an instant because you're young and smart, so you're going to get on Google and have a quick look and be able to focus on that. And that's a good one. And when I was doing that little bit, did you feel any change?
On the
Left shoulder? I don't know, you tell me.
hmm. Well, I feel change now.
What does it feel like?
Light.
Good.
It's super light.
It won't stay. I have to warn you. It is actually a physical thing,
Yeah,
right? I can move physical things, but it's elastic. My body is elastic, so I can move it and hold it. But when I let go, it's going to trickle back into its old pattern. But your good fortune is that this only happened 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
So just keep doing, the thing coming down. And those points I showed you, gallbladder 41, you can find that
yeah,
on both. You can do it on both sides. One is for the shoulder, but if you do both of them, of course, you have two halves of a brain, and you have the glands with the hormones in the middle. And I hope, if I hear from you again, it's always the way with things like this. That I never hear from people again. You know what I mean? And I've done it all and think, oh, I'm happy now. They're so happy they forget that I ever existed, which is okay. Otherwise, that'd be too busy. But I would like to, if you have the time, to hear from you. I'm easy to find. I know Cliff will put a thing up with my website address, and it's got that you can automatically email and so on, and get to me. And if you want to do a session personally, you can do that too. He's got one slide. No big deal. I just sent a pamphlet and a slide of doing, because I do this online, not for a living. I've just started doing it professionally online. I used to do it anyway, but now I'm doing it so that people can actually be helped in Corona time. And I'm very selfish. You should know that, because you're young. Not that Corona's nice to young people. It isn't. But if I get it, it's at 74. My risk is very high. So being able to do this, actually, I'm very grateful to be able to do and have that contact.
yeah,
But I also do it live. We have a big protocol in the school. You can see nothing here except the judo mats and everything else. But tomorrow it will be full of third level students, and I will be teaching them diagnosis. And these days, I'm also teaching them how to use, to channel universal ki in such a way that only when you know the meridians and what's going on in the body, you can really make it work. It's not a global thing. You really do have to have some experience behind you, and you're very welcome to come and learn that as well
yeah,
when you're ready.
yeah. Sure.
But thank you.
Okay.
All I can say, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
It was
And
really beautiful.
okay, thank you very much. I'm really amazed by that story.
Okay.
Your
Well
dream.
done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah. So we'll
Bye.
just get Sabina.
Yeah.
Just that's it. Okay. Yeah. Just as we're running out of time, so unfortunately we had lots of people
I
lined
know.
up, but they'll have to contact you directly and get some treatment.
Well, I guess so,
But
Cliff. I
yeah,
thought that might happen. I'm very glad it could
it was
happen. We got
great
past
to
it.
watch you
Yeah.
working. And I've got, you mentioned the handouts, and I'm
Thank
going
you.
to launch those right now. And I've got a question from someone about